Good afternoon, dear students. We meet again for our video lecture. Thank you so much for completing the test last time. And now we are going to enter our chapter 3. And the chapter 3 is entitled Models of Pastoral Care. But before that, let's pray together. Our Father God in heaven, thank you so much, O Lord, for being with us. And as we begin our class this afternoon, may you be with us, O Lord, especially to my students as they study about models of pastoral care. Please give them understanding and give us a fruitful time together. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Don't forget to answer the questions through this H5P, and it will become counted as your assignment score. So our chapter's title is Models of Pastoral Care. So in this chapter, there are 5 major models that manifest the shape and form of pastoral care. It will be examined in this chapter. And the assumptions underlying the approaches and the basic rationale for proceeding in each particular way will be explored also in this chapter. Now, again, there are 5 major models. The first model is pastoral care as therapy. Now, the Greek word therapeo, from which the English word derives, essentially means to heal. So when you hear the word therapy, it actually means to heal. So healing presupposes that something has gone wrong with the proper functioning of bodies, minds, or spirits. So the fundamental understanding here then is that some problem has arisen. So some malfunction has or is occurring in the smooth and proper running of things. So this may be understood in medical terms as illness or deviation from biophysical norms, or else in theological terms as sin or alienation from essence. So, under this model, pastoral care as therapy, the task of the pastoral caregiver is to remove or correct what is wrong and in some way or by some means to return the sufferer to a functioning order. So essentially, the caregiver is there to make us better. Okay, so the helper in this model has a messianic function. He or she heals, helps or saves us or enables us to be healed, helped, or saved. Okay, that is pastoral care or as therapy. Now, an assumption of this model is that it is possible to achieve the goals it seeks, so that by divine assistance, divine grace, or else some form of divine intervention, things can be made better. So the caregiver's task is to discover this and to administer or recommend this to patients or clients. So the strength of this model in the fact that it offers a clear and understandable problem to which there is solution. But it is premised upon first diagnosing or recognizing what is wrong and then investing in a solution. Without an acknowledgement of a problem, no solution can be solved. So, it has been argued, however, that pastoral care in the later part of the 20th century has been in captivity to secular psychotherapy. So the model that has seemed to be much in operation has been a therapeutic one. Pastoral care and especially pastoral counseling has functioned largely and effectively as a form of psychotherapy. Moreover, it is also true to say that when pastoral care is modeled upon theologies of redemption or soteriologies, which place great emphasis on the sinfulness of humanity, the greatness of the salvation brought by the death of Christ and humanity's need for salvation, then pastoral care follows a therapeutic model and is subject to all the criticism with such a view may be open to. So these potential pitfalls, including the danger of oversimplifying the issues at stake, the quest for single factors accountable for problems, the desire for quick fix miracle cures, the problem of overdependence upon the care of caregiver, and the potential for abuse by the powerful therapist. So, pastoral care as therapy is very powerful, but there are also some pitfalls of oversimplifying the issues at stake by looking for divine intervention. Now, the second model is pastoral care as ministry. So, where ministry is the underlying assumption, pastoral care is understood as the operation or activity of particular persons viewed as agents or intermediaries. Specific rights, procedures, and training schemes are established for the recognition of those summoned by God to such activity and for their dedication to the task. So such persons function either individually or more usually in teams, and they employ communication skills and sacramental rites to foster well-being, growth, and spiritual advancement for groups such as communities of faith or individuals seeking spiritual direction. Now, there are five classic activities are engaged in where pastoral care takes form of ministry. The first one is proclamation. Proclamation in Greek is kerygma. Now, kerygma is in which the essentials of belief and their attendant practices are set forth in coherent form for a community. So this includes the teaching or didache and the prophecy or foretelling that form part of the round of activities in most communities of faith. That is kerygma. The second one is service or diaconia. Service or diaconia often takes the form of particular deeds of kindness done for others. Almsgiving to the poor and needy, visiting and comforting the elderly and the sick, providing food and shelter for the homeless and destitute are some examples of pastoral care and service. An integral and historic part of such service, increasingly being recognized, concerns social and political action, about which more is said in the next section. The third one is fellowship or koinonia. Yeah, many of you are part of koinonia. Yeah, fellowship. So fellowship or koinonia has to do with the provision of opportunities for social interaction within communities. So such communal activities include meals, games, celebrations, and commemorations. So here the social nature of human existence is recognized and affirmed. Number four is administration or oikonomia. Administration or oikonomia is about the management and proper ordering of the institutional aspects of communal life. So financial affairs, property issues, and legal matters need to be attended to if any organized social group or individual for that matter is to exist and function in a given society. The fifth one is worship or Eucharistia. Worship or Eucharistia offers the opportunity for communities of faith to express their spiritual longing and aspirations before God in meaningful and appropriate forms relevant to their beliefs and life experience. So most communities of faith would conceptualize worship as giving time, honor, space, and recognition to God as the ultimate source of life. Worship is given to God within the context of social encounter as well as in private communion. In both cases, the object of worship is God. However, it is recognized that the love of God means that God cares for and engages with those who draw near to God. So the task of the leaders of worship include fashioning the structure of time and activity in such a way befitting and bespeaking the nature of God, so as to allow encounter with God whilst paying attention to the worshippers as people of different phases of faith and psychosocial circumstances. The next one is pastoral care as social action. The rise of liberation theology in Latin America has had marked influence on the way theology is studied and engaged in throughout the world. Latin America liberation, theologians Leonardo and Cordovez Boff distinguish three levels of liberation theology, which is professional, pastoral, and popular. Concerning pastoral liberation theology, they write, it is the theology that sheds the light of the saving word on the reality of injustice so as to inspire the church to struggle for liberation. Now, the next one is pastoral care as empowerment. In contrast to a therapeutic model of pastoral care, in an empowerment model, the emphasis is on the fact that there is something good, something of worth and value within human person as they presently are. Empowerment implies not weakness, but rather some pre-existing strength upon which one builds. So the task of pastoral care under this model is the drawing out and building up of the unnoticed strengths and resources within the around people and communities. So empowerment models, by and large, adopt educational and dialogical methods in facilitating the achievement of their goals. Inspired particularly by the works of Brazilian philosopher of education Paulo Freire, pastoral caregivers who work with empowerment models seek to assist in conscientization of the oppressed and marginalized through enabling them to ask questions about their life and situation. Conscientization is a process within which people become more aware of their situation and of the resources they possess to respond to and change things. And the last one is pastoral care and as personal interaction. In this model, relational skills are employed to assist people explore, clarify, and change, or else cope more effectively with unwanted thoughts, feelings, and behavior. The focus tends to be on the individual, even when work is done in groups. In such interaction, much value is placed on the person cared for gain insight. Insight is very often in terms of an interpretation of the matter causing concern along the lines of particular theories or schemes of understanding. As such, this approach tends to be cognitive, using cause-effect theories, which favor left-brain logical, rational, and analytical processes over right-brain creative, intuitive, and more nonverbal processes. And the last one, value is also placed upon verbal expressiveness, articulation of feelings, and client self-disclosure within a warm, accepting, and non-judgmental environment, largely produced by the carer's skill in personal relationship. So counseling is far and away a major example of this model and will be examined further in chapter 5. So dear students, this is chapter 3, Models and Pastoral Care. I hope you learned something and you may read again, and don't forget to answer the question in the H5P model. Let's pray together. Thank you so much, Lord, for the time to study together today. You bless all the students as they continue studying in this university. In Jesus' name we pray.